Hey, gang. Welcome to another Tuesday event, Administrators Mastering Encompass. My name is Larry Bailey. Michael Kelleher is in the house. That's unusual. How you doing, Mike? We still have to catch up. Hey, welcome. So, sorry, name drop your mic there. But anyway, it was just surprising to hear you. There you are. Hey, so listen, we meet every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. on Thursday. And we talk all things Encompass, all things mortgage related. The idea is if you're in the mortgage industry, head over to Mortgage.Community, grab a free account. Everybody's welcome regardless of who you work for, because more voices is better. That's the reality. So today's topic is all about underwriting and Encompass like a master. I've got some ideas that I tend to like to share with folks on underwriting, mostly because I held that position for a little while. It's a position I found that a lot of folks put a ton of pressure on, and I still watch as mortgage workflow partners. We do these things, these workflow reviews, and so I sit with every single department. And when I get to the underwriters, everything is always the same. They use a scratch pad. And by the way, if anybody's an underwriter and you want to talk about what you're doing, I'd love to have you up on stage. Let me know if you're comfortable talking. You don't have to be on video. You can just be on audio if you want. But the idea is if you're underwriting, the things that are always happening, and tell me if you're an underwriter listening to this, you've got a scratch pad on your desk, and it's usually a yellow pad, and you're usually making notes by hand as you're underwriting a file. And what you'll do is you'll go through the Encompass e-folder. You may be like opening and closing each document. We're going to talk about that. But if you're not, you're still going through each document and you're figuring out which conditions you want to have in the file. And then you go over and you go into the conditions tab and you add the condition as you go, and you figure out what you want on the initial this is just the initial underwrite, of course. And so if you're doing that, I understand, but there's such a better way. So that's the whole point of this conversation today. For those that are just joining, we're talking about underwriting and Encompass like a master. And anybody I work with on the underwriting side, my heart goes out to them when I watch some of the painful daily things that happen using a lot of the steps I just explained. So. If anybody's an underwriter who just joined, I'd love to have you join the conversation. If not, I understand. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and see if I cannot break Encompass here. And I'm going to bring open the e-folder because that's all that really matters. And cool. So let's go ahead and share the screen. If you're watching this or listening to this, I should say, on replay, or you are listening to this on podcast, thank you very much. But you definitely want to get over to Mortgage.Community and watch the whole thing on screen, because we're going to go through using something called an Underwriting Comparison. I'm going to be talking about truly automated conditions. We're going to talk about condition sets, enhanced conditions, what that looks like, plugins, whether or not they're a good idea or not to fill in field data at the condition level, using Document Manager, this concept of waiving conditions versus clearing conditions versus deleting conditions versus not even adding the conditions in the first place. And then notes, like how I started, like where do people put notes? So